Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As I was about to tell today's video, we're here to ask, how good can your build's offense be with no defense in NBA 2K23? Or in other words, what is the most offensive build you can make in 2K23? So, in today's video, I have 3 builds listed right here, not to mention my own 6'1" small guard that does eventually get defense, but I have it not upgraded nearly at all yet, and we have some 1v1 gameplay of it to showcase. And what we'll be playing against in that video is a two-way play shot on the other side, so he clearly has defense on his build. We're going to showcase the lack of defense versus the fact that he does have defense. So, hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new, for to drop a like, sub if you're new to the noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to win 2,000 likes. But nonetheless, let's talk about what you can make in this game with no defense on your build. This means literally, I'm talking no steal, the absolute minimum amount of perimeter defense, and no block, rebound, interior D, anything like that. We're talking about the 6'1" that get unreal amounts of acceleration. As you can see, we've got things like 96 ball handle for Hall of Fame clamp breaker, even a bit of extra sweep of ball right here to get an extra badge point. We got things like 93 three-pointer, 81 mid-range for the Hall of Fame mini magician. We got 86 driving dunk for gold limitless takeoff, not to mention that you could run all 3 of the tier 3s right here at the gold, silver, and silver level. Combine that with things like Hall of Fame Giant Slayer, Silver Fearless Finisher, you have a decent close shot and driving layup rating together. You also have the ability to get 85 pass accuracy instead of 75, for instance, which does go a decently long way as well. And we could even get that 1 extra acceleration if you really wanted to try to. I do want that 75 vertical for the pro contact dunks. You could even, for that matter, invest that much more into vertical if you wanted to get the small guard contact dunks. I don't think I'd really advise to do that though. It's a little bit doing too much if you ask me. Becomes a little bit too much expensive on the build, and I would just probably stick to the 75 vertical. But nonetheless, this is a build that literally has no steal rating. I think this is something to make if you wanted to have fun on the game, wanted to troll a little bit, you don't really care about defense, or let's say for instance, maybe you wanted to make a build strictly for the 1v1 court where it's losers out, aka it's not make it take it. This build could be serviceable in that case, and again, I'd probably recommend it just as a rec fun build, so to say, not really anything competitive, because it is going to hurt you to have no steal rating. I will say, I think you can get away with having a build that has nothing upgraded on defense except for steal rating, but it needs to be above 80 or so. I would say probably a bare minimum 78 for the silver interceptor. You need to be able to protect yourself. Now the problem with that becomes though, if you did want to make a build that only gets 78 steal and nothing else, problem would be you would need to get a lot of defensive badges to unlock the interceptor in the first place, because it's going to be tier 3 for your small guard build. We could talk about that potentially at a different height, as we will have listed in just a couple minutes here, but nonetheless, like I said, you'd have to have at least 16 badge points on defense to be able to get that. So you're probably looking at a build like I'm going to be displaying when it comes to my build that you're going to see in the 1v1 gameplay. But nonetheless, takeover options obviously going to be slash, shot, sharp, and play. Simple as that. Every offensive build in the game is probably going to have that, to be honest. But now let's talk about the 6'8" and 6'9" if you had no defense. It's a very foreign thought. Not a lot of people really think to make 6'8" or 6'9" builds with no defense. I will tell you guys though, I've run into a lot of these when it comes to Pro-Am. A lot of people come out here with a 5-out capable build, and it's mostly, I would say, in this quote-unquote matchup central. Not a lot of people run 5-out competitively at a super high level in Pro-Am, but the people that are at least decent at the game and want to play other people of competition, I have played a couple 6'8" and 6'9" that run the 5-out on Pro-Am, and it's with builds that look like this. No steal rating, no nothing on defense. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I've been catfished a time or two by builds like this exactly that I'm talking about, where I sit here and think there's no way a 6'8" or a 6'9" has no defense. But come to find out, every single time we play against someone who runs 5-out on Pro-Am, it's going to be a build pretty much similar to this. Now, let's talk about the perks of this build. You, at 6'8", can get the gold posterizer while still having 92 three-pointer for the gold limitless range, not to mention just a really great 3-point rating to have. At 6'9", if you try and get these dunk packages and this 3-point rating together, it's going to be 92 driving dunk, which yes, still gives you the elite contact dunk packages, but you don't get the gold posterizer. Nonetheless, with this right here, we got 80 driving layup for the Zach LaVine layup package. We got every capability to run all the finishing badges. As long as you put 4 extra into this, you're gonna need 24 finishing to be able to core 1 and then run the other 2 on gold. With 25 shooting badges, that is plenty as well. You're gonna be able to run 3 tier 3s. So for instance, blinders, limitless range, and even catch and shoot if you would like, or deadeye. I would advise probably not to run that though, and just run 2 of them. You could just core limitless range and get blinders, simple as that. And then boom, you have like Agent 3, Green Machine, machine, some volume shooter, whatever the case may be. Again, we're talking about a build that gets a lot of capabilities when it comes to all the things, including playmaking. So you have 89 ball handle at 6'8" for that Hall of Fame quick first step and an extra badge point. That is so fire for a build like this. And normally the problem you're going to run into in a 6'8", if you do upgrade its defense, is going to be your finishing has to be really sacrificed quite a bit because you're not going to be able to run all the tier 3s. But because we don't invest into defense, you can put more into finishing. And again, in which case you can get all 3 of these tier 3s right here. So you're talking gold limitless, slithery, posterize. You got gold limitless range as well. We have Hall of Fame quick first step, pro contact dunks, elite contact dunks, gold posterizer, all of that stuff included. 85 pass accuracy too, all the expensive defense, which once again, if you make a 6'8" or a 6'9", it's very unlikely the team's going to think target that guy. I'm talking rec center like randoms and stuff like that, right? They're not going to know to go at your 6'8" build. They don't know you have 2 defensive badges or anything like that. If they see the way you move, that is debatable. I will say though, with a build like this, I would just recommend hold your sprint button a lot on defense. Don't touch your left trigger, don't do anything like that. You could probably protect yourself by not even playing passing lanes in general, and your height can make up for the fact that you will get decent contests sometimes on the perimeter and the interior. I've even seen my 6'1" with no like interior defense actually get decent contests as well. You just have to be in the right spots. But nonetheless, 85 speed, 82 acceleration. We could go lower on the speed if you really would like to too, but I just thought it'd be a kind of cool thing for the off-ball sake of this build. But I can't wait to show you the 6'9" because I think it's the best one in the game as far as the no defense builds or anything like that. So again, the offensive takeovers, we get all 4 of them. The slash, sharp, shot, and play, simple as that. So let's go to this 6'9" real quick and talk about the inside out, just devious levels of offense that this build has. So at 6'9", 6'10" wingspan, we're going to do what we have to do to get the 92 3-pointer for the gold limitless range. I just would like to have that. If you want to go 89 3-pointer instead though, what you could do is obviously go up on your wingspan. Boom, at that point you can go to the 94 driving dunk and just maybe go like 7-foot wingspan, because you can get the gold agent 3 at 89 3-pointer. And then at that point, if you do care a little bit more about the gold posterizer than you do, for instance, gold limitless range, you could definitely go with something more like a 7-foot wingspan. But what I want to showcase to you is going to be the 92 dunk, 92 3-pointer build that is going to get the elite contact dunks, but it is only silver posterizer. But look at what we have in compensation for this. Now, I think driving layup is way too expensive. It's really hard to upgrade at a high level, especially on a build like this. What we do instead, because we have a really high 3-pointer and we're okay with the mid-range being high in general, because I actually do think it'd be really nice to have a decent mid-range game when it comes to being a 6'9" like this. What we do instead of upgrading that driving layup is we have the close shot to 94. And what this is going to give us is Hall of Fame fearless finisher and then an extra badge point right there as well. I gotta tell you guys, I still finish plenty fine on driving layups where I get kicked out of the dunk and put into a layup with 80 driving layup and silver fearless finisher, because that's all I get because I don't have a very good close shot at all. With this build right here, we're talking literally pick and roller capabilities. We're talking mashing. We're talking post scoring threat with the mid range at 84 and the close shot at 94. We're talking 5-out ISO with 92 driving dunk and 92 3-pointer. You still have 85 pass ac, you still have 87 ball handle. I understand there will be some people out there that are a little bit irritated with this because I didn't upgrade post control. I think it's too expensive if you ask me. I don't think the Hall of Fame unpluckable and quick first step is that much worth an investment of your post control, when realistically you can just literally mash people. You can turn around and fade it. You can just do your dribble pull-up stuff like that as well. I see Tonic go into the post with 25 post control and literally still doesn't even get ripped to this day. So I'm of the belief that with the gold unpluckable, you're still perfectly fine. As far as the badges you can run, again, at 6'9", what makes it so much more elite is the fact that the only tier 3 that you really need is going to be posterizer. If you want to utilize this in a really cool, fun way, gold fast twitch could be a fire badge to put on, but you do have some stuff to put on other than that. Obviously, we got the gold slithery and limitless takeoff. That's 8 points right there. Hall of Fame fearless finisher for 6 badge points is a very great investment with this build, I must say. On top of that, masher is debatable because I feel like you're already going to go at small guards easy. I don't think you need this, to be honest with you. I think you'd be better off just not investing in anything like that and just going with the fast twitch, posterizer, fearless finisher, slithery, and limitless takeoff. Simple as that. So again, the factor that this provides on offense is going to be a post-hook, post-fade threat while also still being a close shot masher. You still have 92 driving dunk for elite contact dunks, and just in general, I mean, it's just going to be great to use. And then also, 82 standing dunk goes hard. I only use 75 myself, and I still consider myself the pick and roller in a pro-am situation. I use this in comp pro-am played against people that are probably going to get drafted into the league this year. So I truly believe 82 could go hard for that matter as well. And then again, the finishing badge loadout is fire because you're the 6'9" like always. The 26 shooting badges is plenty enough to be able to run everything that you would want on this. And then 23 playmaking badges is also plenty enough. You could run Unpluckable, Clamp Breaker, and Hands for Days as long as you core 1. And then after that, obviously you have Quick First Step, probably Bailout, something like that. It's gonna be pretty simple. Maybe Hyperdrive if you would like to invest in that instead. And at that point, that's your 8 badges, and then maybe just you add 1 more playmaking or something like that. Defense, we don't have anything nearly at all, once again. But again, at 6'9", people don't expect that you would be a non-defensive build like this. But again, nonetheless, same takeovers, same thing as the other 3. What I want to showcase now is a 1v1 of me on a 6'1" guard that does eventually get defense but doesn't have it upgraded just yet, versus a guard that actually has his defense all the way up to a decent level because he's the 2-way play shot title. Alright, so this is going to be what I'm working with in this video right here. I have 73 perimeter defense, 73 steal, and 74 speed. It is a problem on defense. You will see that much obviously displayed, not to mention my defensive badges. I can't get glove or anything like that. I can't put any important defensive badges on. I really just have silver workhorse and then bronze rebound chaser, bronze pogo stick. And you will see, low-key, this stuff does go hard in other videos. I don't have it on display very good in this one, but again, that's what I'm working with. And then here's the playmaking badges and then the shooting badges that I have in this video. Finishing wise, I don't have posterizer or slithery yet, but this build eventually does get it. As far as the attributes, as you can see, once again, 86 driving dunk with a really good close shot and driving layup. I know some people are going to think this is troll, but I actually think the build is pretty good, and I'm looking forward to seeing it in its full potential as well. Alright, so here we are in the gameplay, playing Silk Durag right here, as you can see. Level 39, 2-way play shot, 98 overall. Now, that is the big discrepancy in this. I'm a 93 overall, he's a 98, so it does go a long way, and obviously his build is even more complete. If I had mine more complete, I would be looking at silver glove, and for instance, probably like I would have silver interceptor too, but I wouldn't run it on ones. So I'd probably be looking more into like the menace and Hall of Fame workhorse, stuff like that. Actually, I think my build only gets gold, but anyway, moving forward. As you can see, shooting at 57.3% from 3 right there. The build is running shot creator takeover primary with slash take secondary. We got easy blow-bys in the secondary, pull-up precision in the primary. So this is the 1v1 court where it's not make it take it. This is where I would suggest that your non-defensive builds could actually play and be utilized, because at the end of the day, 3s kill in this mode. And just offensive consistency in general. If you can get a bucket every single time, it definitely goes a long way. But the problem is, if you can't get a stop, then generally you're going to probably give up a 3 somewhere in there. And you're going to see, we're just going to give you guys a nice little display. So what I want to talk about first off, as you're going to see, this build is so quick that not only do I just take the rim runs when I can get them, but I really hate that I'm giving out this information, because there's a lot of people that are brain dead with and they just quick drop every time. If you stayed this far into the video, you are getting a gem right here, because I haven't even made a video on this specifically. I probably should, but anyway, what I'm talking about right here is to flick up, up on your right stick when you go for the dunk. If you have a dunk package that's at least flashy enough, like a tomahawk or something like that, you will initiate the flashy dunk. And with this, I get way more takeover for that. Mind you, this is the beginning of the game. At the very beginning of the game, you don't get quite as much takeover as you would for, say, the second dunk or the third dunk or anything like that. So to get this flashy dunk, because I beat him so easily on the rim run right there, goes such a long way toward the takeover. Now, sometimes I will get greedy with that. You'll see that in this gameplay as well. I promise you that. But anyway, to come out here and try to play defense with a build that has no defense, it's going to be a tough time. As you can see, I am getting beat on the perimeter. He ends up just missing a wide open shot. If that's someone that is timing their shot correctly, that's a tough 3 to give up right there, because again, I am just coming out here, I'm taking the 2s early, and again, I'm going for that flashy dunk, get a little greedy, and unfortunately I lose all the extra takeover that I even just got on the first one. So very unfortunate. And again, with the no defense, if you give up a 3 or anything like that, it would definitely hurt. So if you would have made that first one, that would have really sucked. But as you can see, with this low perimeter defense of only 77 or 76, I can still bait a little bit. It's really convenient that I was even able to bait a jump shot right here, because this guy could get a lot of easy rim runs if he really tried to. So he hits this walk back right here. Fortunately, I am stepping up into his face just enough with no challenger, no nothing like that, and still able to contest this enough to make it miss in most people's logic. I would say there's not a whole lot of players in the game that do hit contested like that with no takeover. If you do hit contested like that, you're really good at adjusting your timing, because it does like affect the timing quite a bit to shoot contested. Not to mention it's just harder in general. So anyway, we're back on O. I'm playing in the most despicable way possible right here. You can see hitting the snatchbacks and the Steve Francis spams, and then boom, I hit the walk back, hit another Steve Francis spam, stop and go, pulling out all the tricks in the book that are just the absolute most despicable things in this game. And anyway, get the quick drop dunk to cap it all off in the most despicable way, and we get the 4-0 lead off just straight rim runs early on. Now, realistically, how I want to play in every game that I'm going to be on with this guard, I would like to go ahead and take a couple rim runs. We get a nice contest and a rebound right there though, so that goes a long way. But I would like to take a couple rim runs into setting up my threes, whether it's the fact that he wants to defend my rim run a little bit more and it opens up the three even more, or just the fact that I can get more takeover progress on it. And now I'm able to get the pull-up precision takeover activatable. But I'm going to be a little greedy with it on top of that too, and I'm going to go for double takeover, which means I can't go for any of those reach-ins right there, unfortunately, because that's probably the only way I could really protect myself is to get bump steals, because I can't play a lick of actual defense on this build. As you can see, we give up 3 right there. Alright, so back on the offensive end, once again, going a little bit rim run heavy. It's pretty funny, to be honest with you. I'm surprised that I was even able to get this dunk to pop off, because the last time I went for that, it actually got canceled out of. Now, again, he has the two-way play shot build. I'm not sure what his vertical and defense is or anything like that. You can see, once again, I would love to go for those steals right there, but we're saving for the double takeover. I probably trolled. I probably should just pop the pull-up precision. Either way, he ends up with a mid-range shot right there. Fortunately, we give up only a 2 rather than a 3. That is really my whole outlook when it comes to this build and how I'm playing in this style right here on the ones, is at this rate, I have a 4-point lead, and even obviously before that shot was made, I had a 6-point lead. So at this point, I can just take 2s and, you know, get the 3s when I really can, and we're good. Really, but you're gonna see the lack of defense on display. So I finally popped the double takeover, and now I can go for a little bit more reach-ins. But as you're gonna see, I get the reach-in foul, don't really get the bump steal, and the next possession, he is going to kill me off this inbound, hitting a nice little spin off the triple threat, ends up just running back to the middle and fades it, boom, bang, simple as that. Gets the 3-point shot, and now that's really going to be things that keeps him in the game. So if I can't play on this build to defend the 3-point line efficiently, I'm going to have a couple issues, because honestly, the more 3s he gets up, the more he can actually just kind of let me keep on taking these 2s and these rim runs. And for that matter too, I got the slash take on, and I thought I could for sure just dunk meter anybody. Forget about poster and slithery. I was doing it a couple days ago on the like 3s no squads and was able to get that to pop off. That was the first dunk I've ever seen that I actually got kicked out of on this build. Now, albeit the reps weren't really quite there, but either way, he's able to get the 3 right back on me, and now he's got sharp take as well, and now we got a tie game. Now, you're gonna see, I come out here with the Allen Iverson hop jumper into the fade run to the corner, and this is the most despicable thing you've seen too, with the pull-up precision shot take and just running in the corner and fading. I play like an absolute basic dude on this stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there is not that much complex stuff to it. I will say nobody really does that Allen Iverson stuff when they're trying to be comp with it. I think the move is really good though, personally. I think that stuff's fire. I think it's really cool that you can just do it and not even have to shoot out of it. And the fact that you even can still shoot out of it too, that goes a long way. Moving into the corner right there, you can see we get a nice double-digit contest right there. 18% contest, and we're able to get the ball back. Once again, baiting 3-pointers is probably my best bet when it comes to this build. Once again, hitting the stop-and-go fade to the corner. You can't overplay builds like this. It's as simple as that. And I only have 91 acceleration too. That build I was showcasing earlier, by the way, if you get it max badges, max overall and stuff like that, you're going to have 95, 96 acceleration with Hall of Fame quick first step, all that stuff. I mean, and just run into the corner like this. The dude overplays me by the slightest bit to the middle. He's on this right hip right here. That just opens it up whether he reaches or not. I'm able to just run to the corner and fade and not get contested. Simple as that. Trae Young dribble pull-up on a 6'1" goes even harder too. And whether you're watching this video and you want to survey this between the 6'1" or the 6'9" style, mind you, the 6'1" is going to be a lot easier to 3-hunt with than the 6'9", but the 6'9" is a walking bucket. That is going to be a hard build to stop on really anything. You can see he hits a nice little hop back on me right there too. Not to mention, let's compare between the two builds. With the 6'1", you are visibly going to get picked on. Just the fact that people see that you are small, they're going to anticipate that you don't have any defense on your build. It's going to really work like that, to be honest with you. It's going to be a real tough time for you. You're going to get picked on a whole lot more. Whereas the 6'9" and the 6'8", you're gonna be a lot taller. People will not really think to just bully you. You're gonna have to show very visually that you have no defense. Real quick to interject on that topic though, I have no adrenaline right here. This is gonna be the way that I actually dribble with no adrenaline. I just want to walk back as fast as possible. You can see one bar actually came back though. I'm a little bit of a goofball for not thinking that would even happen. But nonetheless, you can still perform dribble moves like this with no adrenaline. You can see I don't even utilize the adrenaline right there. It just works. Simple as that. So to do downhill dribble moves, it works. But anyway, back to our topic of conversation there of the 6'9" and 6'8". You can disguise yourself on defense a whole lot more. People will not think that you have no defense on your build at first glance, especially if you have speed for that matter too. If you don't have speed, it may stand out a little bit more, I would say. But I would just say, like, when it comes to playing on the rec, you don't really want to make a 6'1" with no D. if you make a 6'8", 6'9", you could definitely get away with it. I'm gonna be real with you. People will not think to pick on you. I don't even think to do it in comp pro-am anymore, or at least I do now. But back then, when I was just seeing them for the first time, I was like, oh, there's no way dudes are making 6'8", 6'9" and no defense. They at least have some steal rating, right? Something like that. Nope. Them dudes who come out here and ISO 5 out, they use no defense at all, and they get away with it too until now. But people who don't think hard enough on that type of stuff will definitely like forget about it, especially in the rec too. There's no way you can communicate if you're playing with the randoms or playing against randoms, so just keep that in mind. I just wanted to give you guys the food for thought right there. But anyway, end the game with 2 dunk meters. As you can see, green the open one, get the slightly right there to go, and really good game as far as like offensively it goes. I mean, the 1-3 that I missed was that crazy Iverson hop jumper we did. And then in general, I would say I played good enough defense to win this game, even if the dude made all his threes. I know that's speaking a little bit hypothetically, because if he did make 8 3-pointers, that would mean he very much so won the game. But I still think that those misses were a couple like contested ones. Like I think I contested at least one of them 18%, the other like 7 or 8, something like that. So realistically, if he just made his open 3-pointers, he probably would have been in a closer game right here. But I still think the lack of defense for me can be compensated by more offense, I would say. And again, my build is a 93 overall compared to his 98, so just keep that in mind too. And I don't really think I'm the most skilled guard player by any means. I literally hopped on this stuff yesterday, mind you. I haven't played hardly, actually, yeah, 2 days ago was my first time even playing on a small guard in general. And I don't even shoot the ball very much in this game either. So just keep that in mind. I do think this is a very playable play style. It just depends on the court, the situation. But that's all for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, sub if you're new to them, noties, all good stuff. Like always, try to 2,000 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video, put O or put 3 in the comments. Just supports me all the way through. But anyway, that's all for the video. Hope you all enjoyed. I hope you guys appreciate these style of videos too. I know that one that we did of the most defensive build in 2K23 went super hard the other day, and I will have to see how that trend continues on this offensive one right here. But I do appreciate you guys watching, and just stay tuned for more. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.